So my mum, Courtney, is very popular, gregarious, beautiful spirit, a very good company, lovely to be around. Um, every time you give her anything now, everything is delicious. Like she's a good soul. Um, she's very independent and likes to laugh. Yeah, she's good. She's a good woman. So she broke her hip December 21 and was in hospital for 5 months. Got very bad delirium, and unfortunately, it excelled or progressed an underlying dementia that we were unaware of. Now, she's very jovial and lucid and knows everybody, but is confused about where she is all the time and is a massive falls risk. So it's transpired she needs 24-hour care now, and we're trying to figure that out. Her geriatric team took us in for a meeting and recommended nursing home care straight away because they believe she's very sociable and she would do better in a social environment. It's one of our biggest fears to be put in a nursing home. So I, in my naivety, because of the documentary we made about my dad, we talked about dad in 2017 when it's the exact same situation. We couldn't use the Fair Deal scheme for private home care. We could only use it for nursing home care. It seems ludicrous, especially when you consider some of the private nursing homes are also the home care people as well. So there's this stipulation that when you use Fair Deal, which is accessing the family home, my parents' assets, the government will loan you money that when the parent or the person who needs the care passes away, you have to pay back that money when you sell that asset. So it seemed like on paper like a good deal, but then when we wanted to bring dad home, we couldn't, and lots of people related to that. And 6 years later, here we are in exactly the same situation. So you have these lower middle class families like my family. My parents' biggest achievement was buying their own home and coming out of the council house. They sold it, they then built, they got the right to buy. Loads of people have this journey. And my parents ended up paying off their mortgage into their 60s, which is amazing. They're so proud of that. But so that asset we won, because then they were able to provide us with an education and we could buy our own homes. So we now want to use that asset to care for them. Now, we're currently in the process of tragically igniting the Fair Deal scheme again for mum now, because we went through it with dad, because we will need to find some sort of care for mum. But I'm really angry about this, that I feel the pilot scheme ignored the mid-suggestion. I know it's complicated, but there's a lot of people still suffering and being funneled into nursing homes where they don't want to go. I hate to say it, but it may be too late for my mother now because it has progressed. I'm so sick of this fight, as many people are, just want to care for your parents with dignity. Dad gave us access to the last year of his life. He was a very private man, something he didn't do lightly. He did it because a lot of people think my dad had dementia who've seen the documentary. He didn't. He had 2 very bad strokes. So he spoke oddly, but he was very sharp right up to the end. And he knew Fair Deal just for nursing home care was not right. And so he agreed to participate in a documentary to film him in a wheelchair, him being hoisted, really undignified things to show how much care is needed and how much he wants to go home. And he gave us access to that. So I'm pretty pissed off that my family revealed a very intimate time in our lives in an attempt to make a change for positive for everybody. And now my mother is in the same situation. I mean, it just beggars belief, doesn't it?